Hello, welcome to this installment of the music part of March Songwriting Madness. In this workshop, we're going to consider change and how to express and musically explore change with the musical side of your composition. The techniques that I'm going to explore today are related to rhythm, dynamics, and harmonic changes. So first of all, when you're thinking about rhythm and changes in rhythm, you can think about the changes in the melody itself or in the accompaniment. When you think about changes in the melody, you can consider how long your words are. You can consider making them shorter in one place where maybe there's more tension, maybe there's more stuff going on. Maybe you want to make a really big impact in a small amount of time and you want to have more words there. Or maybe you want to create a moment that your listener is going to really relish, and maybe you're going to elongate certain words. Or maybe you don't even have words there at all. You want to just create a musical moment using nonsense syllables like do-do-do-do-do or something. You might also consider using alliteration to show certain moments, just to bring attention to a certain important moment of the music. And in terms of expressing change in the accompaniment of a song, you can use different rhythms or different strumming patterns to do that. They will create different feelings and they will maybe create a development. You might start with something more sparse. And then maybe you add a little more. And then you make it more complex. So those are some ideas, just changing different patterns around. You might also consider in an accompaniment, if you're not using a string instrument, if you use an instrument with more of a sustain, or that has the potential for more sustain, like a wind instrument or a voice, you might consider long sustain accompaniment versus a rhythmic one. Something we don't think a whole lot about in this modern age of music with the radio and stuff is dynamics, but you really can express a lot of change and you can stir some things up with really powerful dynamics. You just have to put some thought into it. You have to put some thought into why is something going to get louder here? Why is something going to get softer? Usually when you get louder, you're building some kind of tension. It's not always the case, but often when you're getting softer, it's some kind of release. So you might consider that if you are thinking about expressing something that has some tension and release moments. How can I use dynamics to really emphasize this change? And finally, we're going to consider my favorite thing to think about when it comes to expressing and exploring changes in songwriting, which is harmony. So if I'm here, here's C major, and then I go to A minor, which is normal, but then I go to A major, that's going to lead me to D minor. And I can stay there for a while. I stay in a minor mode. And then come out of it. If you're well versed on music theory, you can use something called a secondary dominant chord, which is basically a 5/7 chord to anywhere. If I'm, for example, in C, I can go to A7, which is not part of C major, but it is part of D major. And so I kind of switch into D major that way. And maybe I can explore that a little bit. And then somehow find a way to twist back into C major. Or maybe I don't. And finally, one of the most meta thoughts I've ever considered is you can consider change throughout how often you have changes in your music or in your harmony. This is something I explored a little bit in the first video where we talked about using just 2 chords and how can you make that interesting. You can make things feel more tense by having faster changes, and you can make things feel like there's a release when it goes slower. So maybe I stay in F for a while and I'm like meandering a little bit. And then I have one change. And I stay there for a while, and then I go back. And so it feels good to be there, but then maybe you have faster changes. So that's something you can consider. You don't have to stick to a formula every single time and have the same amount of time that you have a chord every single verse and every single chorus. You can change that up a lot. So I hope you found this helpful. If so, please let me know what you've decided to do, which direction you're inspired to go in terms of either harmony or dynamics or rhythm. Please do share with me if you write a song and you want to be part of this challenge. Make sure you use the hashtag March Songwriting Madness. And keep in touch until next week. Until next time, stay mindful, stay musical, and stay out of trouble.